All right, I want to walk you through the setup to use the LeagueOS scoreboard during Rocket League games. So I have my Rocket League game right here. It's in progress, but I want to set up that scoreboard. So I'm going to go over to resources because that's where our streaming overlays are at. We have our match overlay and our match card. But for Rocket League, there's a little bit of setup you have to do just the first time to get this working. So I went to the information. I'm going to scroll down because I need to first install BakkesMod. So that's kind of an add-on for Rocket League. I'd click that, I'd download it, I'd run through the installation. I've already done that, so I'm not going to do that right now. And then you also need to download the LeagueOS.DLL. So I'd click that. It's going to go to my downloads folder. Again, I've already done that, but I'm going to show you what you need to do with that. We need to put it into BakkesMod and make sure that it's enabled. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure BakkesMod is running. And then I'm just going to open up BakkesMod. And I'm going to go to File, open the BakkesMod folder. And that folder comes up. And we're going to go into the plugins folder. And we need to have that SOS.DLL from LeagueOS. Again, I've already put it in here, but all you're going to do is kind of go into your downloads folder. Open up that SOS.DLL. And we would just drag and drop it in there. Since I already have it in there, I'm not going to drag and drop it in there, but you need to drag and drop that in there. And then the thing that you're just doing this one first time. That'll be in there, set up, good to go. Now, the next thing that I need to do is just make sure that the SOS, that it's enabled. So it says open the BakkesMod in Rocket League. So I need to open up Rocket League. And in Rocket League, to open up BakkesMod, you have to press F2. So once Rocket League gets open here, I am going to press F2 and it brings up my BakkesMod. I'm going to go into my plugins. I'm going to open my plugin manager and make sure that this simple overlay system, SOS, is checked. I'm going to close this down, close this down. Now we're basically all set. So I'm going to move Rocket League over to my other window. So it's running in the background right now, but we need to add this match card or match overlay. The match overlay is the big one onto our OBS scene. So really all I need to do, again, I'm in the resources section. This you'll have to do each time. You'll have to set this up for each match in OBS. So I'm going to, let's first grab that match card. If I just click on that, it copies the link to the clipboard for me. So now I'm going to go into OBS. I have my scenes not set up yet. So I'm going to just rename this one. Call it my starting scene. And I'm going to add a media source for my background. This is just something that I've already downloaded. Browse into my downloads. Got my WormSec background video. I'm going to open that, put it in there. So there's my background. Now I need to add that match information. So for all of these, again, back over here, I click match overlay. Actually, I'm going to click match card. Match card and add that in. I'm going to add in a browser source for each of these. So it's a browser source. This is my match card. And I'm just going to paste that's already copied for me into there. And I need to set this to the size of my canvas, which is 1920 by 1080. Say OK. And it pulls information from my match automatically for me here and puts that into OBS so that will show up there as my starting scene. Now I'm going to add my actual game scene. So you probably already have this stuff set up, but for my game scene, First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add in a game capture to get Rocket League. So we're just going to call that Rocket League. We're going to capture our specific Rocket League window. And now my game is in there. I also need to add a browser capture for that scoreboard. Going to say okay. Going to go back over here. Again, match overlay. I'm just going to click that. Come back into OBS. Paste that match overlay in there. Set it to my size, 1920 by 1080. And say okay. And now nothing is showing up. It would show up on the top. Nothing should be showing up right now because the game hasn't actually started. So what I need to do to have that show up is start. So I'm going to start my private match. And again, I'm going to take a look here at my browser. Legrand is the away team, the home team. EFGA is the away team. So I'm going to create my private match, my team settings. Over here, we have Legrand. Over here, we have EFGA. Have all my regular settings. When you set these up, you're not going to have bots, but just for this, I'm going to have bots in there. I'm going to create my match, use my name and password from LeagueOS. Hit create match. Now my match is here and my scoreboard shows up on the top there. I can, while it's not playing, get rid of it there by clicking that. But now you need to be spectating for this to happen. You need to be spectating for this to work up here. So I'm going to just spectate this match. Now, one issue that you might have is on the bottom, all that stuff showing up. So I'm going to get rid of that by hitting B a couple of times. Now we have our match going on. We have our information that's showing up from each of these. The card on the bottom, the time, the player cards on the side, all of that neat stuff. Hopefully one of the teams is going to score a goal here soon, so we can show you what that looks like. And through the magic of editing, Hollywood scores. Information all comes up on the screen. And it gives you the replay, it gives you information, a lot of neat stuff showing up there. So as that happens, everything's just going to show up on here. All right, so everything's going through there. Now, once the match ends, something you might want to do is uncheck that scoreboard so that all the stats show up on there. But the one thing that hasn't shown up is if I look on my scoreboard, I have the tick boxes to show who has won the match. So something you do need to do, and again, this is why dual monitors is super important. I'm going to go into this for the match. Legrand won that one 4-0. 4-1. I'm going to type that in, and I have my team that won, the winner, showing up on there. Now if I go back to my overlay, the winner is showing up on there, and now it's changed to game 2. So as soon as I go back into Rocket League, start that second match, it'll say game 2, and all of the score and the time will reset, but my checkboxes show up on there. So again, this is just how to set up the LeagueOS overlay for Rocket League. The things that you do need to do, and all the information's here in the resources tab. Click on the little streaming overlays, match overlays. It's got directions down here for Rocket League. The things that you do need to do just one time, the first time initial setup, is installing BakkesMod, download that DLL, put the DLL in there, and then do that setting in BakkesMod, enable that simple overlay system. The thing that you would need to do each time for each match is go ahead and grab your match card or your match overlay and put those in as your browser sources in OBS. So that is how you set those up.